Happy Friday. It's Joe. It's time for a pocket with Joe. Let's make some money on the ice. Yesterday was a really hard day on the ice for me. Not sure about you guys, but if you tailed some of those picks, just not coming in and cashing. The Boston Bruins really let me down in that first period. We have to look at these games and really pick them apart and take our opportunities where we can. The Tampa Bay Lightning, though, did us well in that first period. We also got the Vegas game over in the first period. And so we did have some wins, but I tell you, the Rangers not getting the win, losing that one there hurt. And the Kings and the Oilers not going over in the first period hurt as well. So happy Friday to each and every one of you. I appreciate you guys for being here. Let's make some freaking money today. 4 games on the ice, plenty of opportunities to make some money. We're going to kick off with those New York Rangers who did lose last night in a low-scoring battle versus the New Jersey Devils. Now they're on their second night of the back-to-back. They're facing the Buffalo Sabres tonight. The Sabres coming in here at plus 125, minus 145 for the New York Rangers. Halleck expected in goal for the Rangers, and we have Devin Levi coming in. He's confirmed for the Buffalo Sabres. Now, Levi was 17, 12, and 5. With a .933 save percentage and a 2.24 goals against average at Northeastern University. So he is making his NHL debut. It's going to be really interesting to see how this young kid comes out. I believe he's only 21 years old, coming out here on the ice for the Buffalo Sabres. Now, the Buffalo Sabres allow these shots on goal. So I do expect these goals to come in. It's just how many he allows in this one. The nerves, I think, will be there, but we know with some of these rookie goalies, they come and they really make a profound entrance into the NHL. We could see that out of him tonight, but we know the firing power of the New York Rangers is going to be coming at him so strongly in this game. So looking at looking at shots on goal, for the New York Rangers, definitely a strong way to look in this game rather than taking those anytime goals. But if you're looking for someone for that anytime goal, Patrick Kane, so much value. Anytime goal at plus 200, I think, is where I'd lay my money. Chris Kreider, looking at him over 2.5. Shots on goal at minus 120, I think, is another solid way to go. We know there's so many money makers on this team. We're looking at a Buffalo Sabres team who is on their first leg of a back-to-back. So they have the Flyers on deck tomorrow on the road. So they'll be starting a road trip here. I do lean on the New York Rangers, even though they're on that back-to-back to get a win. With that loss yesterday to the Devils, they're going to be frustrated with themselves. They're sitting sound third in the Metro right now, and this team has the opportunity, if they go on a winning streak, to move up here. So I do like the Rangers' ability, especially they've won 4 of their last 5 road games. They're 4-1 in their last 5 meetings in Buffalo and 38-17 the last 55 meetings overall. So looking at the New York Rangers, minus 145, we're paying the juice, but I think it is worth laying in this one. I do think we've got a high-scoring first period as well. We know those goals, if they come in, they will come in quick. I don't think Levi is able to save them, so both teams to score in the first period, the over 1.5 in the first period. I think there's great value, but I'm going to stay off the total for the full game because we just got such an unknown with this new goalie coming in, making his debut. If these goals come in, I think they come in the first, and then I could see New York Rangers really locking down defensively in this one. Kenny, shout out to you as well. Shout out to each and every one of you. Benji, I'm glad that you're riding the both teams to score in the first and the over 1.5. Yeah, the over 1.5 is juice. Minus 155, nice parlay piece. Plus 130 for both teams to score. Great way to go. And you got that overtime, Mike. I am so glad that you got that overtime. Definitely was a good one. The Leafs did not get that first period goal. I know. Some of those games were so frustrating. I had a lot riding on some of those first periods for Boston. We got lightning in the first period, but I tell you, those other ones that I was riding in the first period, I was very disappointed not to see them come in. Let's talk about the next game on the board, you guys. we have the Detroit Red Wings taking on the Winnipeg Jets. Now, Hellberg expected here for the Detroit Red Wings. Red Wings coming in at plus 205. The Winnipeg Jets minus 245. And who the hell wants to lay minus 245 with this Winnipeg Jets team? They're 16-20 on that puck line at home, taking on a Red Wings team that's 18-18. This is the first game home of a 3-game road trip for the Winnipeg Jets as well. Now, Connor Hellebuck is confirmed, and he has been stronger on home ice than he has been on the road. But still, this Winnipeg Jets team just isn't one that I like to trust. They've lost their last 2 games. They got dominated and shut out by the Sharks on Tuesday. Yes, they should bounce back. Yes, they're off a road trip that was unsuccessful. So I do think we can see more out of them here. I just don't want to take them here on the puck line. They also have the New Jersey Devils on deck on Sunday. Detroit is on the back-to-back themselves, so this is a bad situation for the Detroit Red Wings as well. Now, they've been trending in the opposite direction. They've won their last 2. They got a nice win over the Carolina Hurricanes. The only way I can take this, I don't want to take a side because I don't want to lay up the puck line with with the Winnipeg Jets here. I don't want to lay the puck line, but I also don't want to lay the plus 1.5 with the Red Wings. I don't trust either team enough, especially with the Red Wings on the back-to-back. So I'm going to look at the under 6 in this one. I do think we see the defenses coming out. These 2 teams trending nicely to that under with the Jets. 7 of their last 8 versus the Atlantic going under. The Red Wings 6-0 in their last 6 road games to that under. On that back-to-back, I know there's always an opportunity for tired defenses, these goals to come in, but I do think this is one. I just don't trust the Winnipeg Jets to score enough goals in this one and really push things. I don't trust the Jets. Well, we'll see what the football Jets team is like coming up this next coming season, but I don't trust the Winnipeg Jets either. That is for sure. And talk about a team that I really have a hard time trusting. It's like you guys walked me right into that. The Calgary Flames taking on the Vancouver Canucks. Now, Calgary coming in as the favorite on the road at minus 135 over the Vancouver Canucks at plus 115. Calgary won the last matchup 3-2, you guys. And we know they're fighting for wild card. I still don't understand, even if they win everything and the other teams lose, if they really can make it. I don't think that they can make it. I really do think pivotal couple of games back when they lost that game to the Kings in LA was kind of the turning point for me, where I'm like, I really don't think they have a hope. Looking at this game tonight, Jacob Markstrom is expected in goal. Now, we know the Vancouver Canucks are going to bring everything at him. This team has been doing better defensively, and this is a strong offensive team here. They're sitting 6th in the Pacific. Calgary is 5th in the Pacific. These 2 teams are going to battle it out. Again, we have 2 teams within the same division. Vancouver not making it to the playoffs, but loving to play upset over Calgary. I do think this one has another prime opportunity to go to OT. Vancouver has nothing to lose. They would love to see the upset here, and Calgary fighting for their lives. Now, this is a one-off road trip for Calgary as well. They will be back home for the next game, and they have really played strong versus the Vancouver Canucks, winning 5 of the last 7 meetings. And like I said, back in December, they won this one 3-2. We had a low-scoring one in that one, and I know we saw a low-scoring game in the Pacific versus Edmonton and the Kings last night, but I do think this is another opportunity for the goals to come in, especially in that first period. Both teams to score in the first period is coming in at plus 156, and the over 1.5, which I like even more, is minus 136. So we're laying a bit of juice there, but it's not out of the range where it's unbettable for me. This is the first game home for the Vancouver Canucks, too, off a 3-game road trip. So I do think this is a nice letdown spot. Well, we look at this team. They played really strong versus the Pacific, going 4-1 in their last 5 versus Pacific. And they're 10-3 in their last 13 overall. So they are finishing this season nice and strong. Prime opportunity to go to OT here. And for this one to go to overtime, we are looking at, let me just pull it up. I think it was plus 350 earlier. It's plus 360 now for this one to go to OT. Happy Friday, Kev. Thank you so much for being here. You're going to take the Red Wings reverse puck line there. Good way to go. Nice transition. You're welcome, Matt. Thank you for the nice compliment. you don't trust the Knights to go far after last night. Yeah, the Knights. I tell you, there's been all of these struggles with these teams. It really is hard. There's letdown spots. There's teams that they're looking ahead to. You have to remember the Vegas Golden Knights, they have the Wild on deck for their next 2 games. So looking at that game, we did see that one go to overtime. So what happened there was the Sharks got up nice and quick. It was 2-0. We did see Vegas get that first goal at the end of the first period there. They had a strong second and third period, but they only were able to tie it up. And then we did see that one go into overtime. So the Sharks winning it in overtime. It was disappointing to see, but like I said, that line really looked odd between Vegas and the Sharks last night. I felt like we were being baited into the top team in the Pacific versus the last team in the Pacific. It just didn't sit right. So you guys, big indicator to follow your gut on stuff like that. Anyone who grabbed the Sharks, congratulations for that nice win. And now Vegas moves on to 2 games versus the Wild. They play the Wild at home and then in Minnesota. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they come out. But I do still have faith in the Vegas Golden Knights, not the Vancouver Canucks. I don't know. This game is going to be hard tonight in the Pacific. The total, I could see it going over, but we've got a high total. We got 6.5s and 7s out there. I like that first period going over. I'd stay off the full game because we know that we've seen these games really locked down defensively. The last game on the board, the Dallas Stars taking on the Arizona Coyotes. You guys, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Arizona Coyotes plus 1.5 on that puck line is minus 130. Sprinkle on that money line. We love to see the upsets coming up. Plus 200 for the Arizona Coyotes. This team has been making us money. Now, this is the first leg of a back-to-back for the Dallas Stars. They've got the Colorado Avalanche on deck tomorrow, and while they're sitting second in the Central, they want every win they can get. I can see this being a prime opportunity for the Coyotes to keep it tight. We know how many games they've been keeping tight. We know we've been pushing these teams to OT. They've been solid at home, got one of the better home records of all the league, going 20-12-3 at home, 24-12 on that puck line as well. Now, the Dallas Stars have been incredible on that puck line as well, you guys. 25-12. They've also played really strong in Arizona, but we've been riding the Arizona Coyotes plus 1.5. It has been making us money. I'm not getting off this train until they start getting blown away. But like I said, this team actually is playing to play spoiler. They're playing for their contracts. They're playing just to show how strong each and every one of their players are. They're coming out to show it. Now, Clayton Keller has been absolutely phenomenal for us as well for those anytime goals. He didn't get it in the last game, but you look at those games before and he's been racking up the goals. So anytime goal tonight is plus 150, and I do think it is worth hitting it here again. And like I said, the Coyotes been so strong at home. They've won 6 of their last 8 home games. And the home team between these two has dominated 24-9 in the last 33 meetings. So I do think there is value on the Coyotes plus 1.5, on the Coyotes at plus 200 on that money line. Clayton Keller at plus 150. I love it. I can't turn past that value. Stay away from the Leafs and the Bruins right now. I agree with you. It's kind of like one of these situations. These teams are going to start resting their players. They're confident in their situation. I do think they start playing harder right those last couple of games before they go into the playoffs. Then they could risk injury. So it's kind of like you just avoid these teams. It's a good thing to avoid them. But we will always keep talking each and every one of these games. I'll give you my best leans in them. It's just the mindset of these players coming out. Benji, I'm glad that you're riding the Coyotes plus 1.5 with me. Keller plus 185. You're getting better odds than I did at plus 150. So you guys, prime example why you shop those lines. Plus 185 is beautiful money. Over 2.5 shots on goal and minus 130. And I do like that. We know the Dallas Stars have been allowing that 30.6. So they are allowing those shots to come in. My only problem with that, though, is that the Coyotes don't average a lot. So they're only averaging that 25.7. So we do see a little bit of struggles there. Absolutely, they are barking. Let's take the Coyotes to start barking. DraftKings giving up that plus 185 on Clayton Keller. Shop those lines, you guys. That is exactly why you want to do it. Over on FanDuel, I got plus 150. So huge difference. We'll be making money with them over a week. That is a huge difference. Looking at that total, we've got a total of 6. I kind of lean towards the under, which does coincide with the Arizona Coyotes plus 1.5. I really do think this should be a low scoring game. So it's going to be a lot of fun on the ice. I don't think this one's going to go to OT, but you guys, if we just took all of these games for the Coyotes as of late to go to OT, we know how much money we could have made in some of them, because Arizona, like I said, they keep pushing, they keep making these games go to overtime. So something to look at in that one. I'll just pull up those odds for this one to go to overtime. Again, it is a battle of the Central here. So we could see it, this one plus 390 to go to OT. We've cashed on them going to overtime a couple of times. It's a good way to look. Let's recap these games, you guys. Let's build a parlay. It's time to make some money. Okay. The New York Rangers and the Buffalo Sabres. We have a rookie, brand new NFL goalie, or NHL goalie, if I can talk, you guys, coming in here with Levi. Will be interesting to see what he's got. I do think this is one where we lean on the New York Rangers to get the win in this, even on the back-to-back. I think this is a great position here for them coming in against the Buffalo Sabres team, who they're ready to go golfing, you guys. I really do think so. And I think it's showing tonight, starting Levi in this situation, that this team knows that they're out of the race here. Chris Kreider, over 2.5 shots on goal, I think is a strong way to go at minus 120. Patrick Kane, I can't get past the value on his anytime goal at plus 200. And I can't touch the total with this new goaltender. But I would look at the first period, both teams to score in the first period, the over 1.5 in the first period as well. So for the parlay, I'm just going to throw in the Rangers. If they let us down and lose again, you guys, it might be a good time to start fading them, because they have been doing us dirty in a couple of these. The Detroit Red Wings and the Winnipeg Jets here. I like the under 6.5, and it's the only way I can go with this one. I do think we see a strong day out of Connor Hellebuyck, and that is what I'm counting. We know he has given us some troubles in some of these games, but it's been more so on the road. So give me the under 6 in this one between the Red Wings and the Jets. I just need the Jets not to score too many points here on Hellberg in net for the Detroit Red Wings. So the under 6 is a play. That's what I'll throw into the parlay. The Calgary Flames and the Vancouver Canucks. You guys, I do think we see both teams come out really strong in that first period. I love the over 1.5. In that first period as well. And that's what I'll throw into the parlay, the Flames and the Canucks. First period over 1.5. That's minus 136, you guys. But both teams to score is coming in at plus 156. And I do think that comes in. Now I'm going to look at Jacob Markstrom to have a phenomenal night. Let's quickly look at his save shots on goal tonight. It is pivotal for Jacob Markstrom to come out and actually not let these pucks go in the back of the net like he's been doing in some of these games. So looking at his goalie props, he's still not confirmed. We have Demko confirmed, though, for the Vancouver Canucks. That number is actually quite low, 29.5 at minus 118 to the over. We know Calgary's averaging that 35.5. The defense of the Vancouver Canucks is playing a lot stronger as of late. They are holding opponents to that 30.2. So this might be one of those opportunities where Calgary has to get firing in this one. I do think Demko can go over that 29.5, but it's going to be pretty tight to that number because Vancouver has been standing up more defensively as of late. But with the firepower Calgary has, I do like Demko over 29.5. That is one that's going to go out to my clients after we get off this show, you guys, because at minus 118, I do think there is a lot of value. Even if Calgary is limited to 34 shots on goal, I don't think he lets in more than 5 goals. So I think that is a solid way to go in this game. The parlay piece, again, was the Flames and the Canucks over 1.5 in the first period. The Dallas Stars and the Arizona Coyotes, you guys, you know we're taking the Coyotes plus 1.5 on that puck line. They have not been letting us down. Let's sprinkle the money line to plus 200. We also had to take Clayton Keller at plus 150 for that anytime goal. I could see the Stars winning this, but with the Avs on deck tomorrow, I do think if the Stars are up in one period, it's going to be that first period. We know the Arizona Coyotes fight back. They love to play upset, and they have every ability here at home, winning 6 of their last 8 home games to get this win over the Dallas Stars. Now, March 1st, we know the Dallas Stars won. We were riding the Coyotes. I remember that bad beat. We had the Coyotes plus the 1.5, and they played tight until the very end. So let's hope that they can play better here on home ice in this game tonight. I think we just keep riding them plus the 1.5. So the long shot parlay, you guys. Oh, and this one to go to OT, you guys. Plus 390 for this game to go to overtime. We're going to take the Calgary Flames and the Vancouver Canucks to go to overtime as well. Those are your 2 overtime games of the night. And remember, we've been making money with these overtime games. So even if we lose these 2 tonight, we're still going to be up with how many we've taken to overtime as of late. But let's look at the Rangers. Rangers are a team that have been pushing to overtime, but I don't think it happens in this one. So that long shot parlay is the Rangers at minus 145, the Red Wings and the Jets under 6, the Flames and the Canes Canucks. It's not the Canes. I just can't read my own writing. First period over 1.5, and the Coyotes plus 1.5 on that puck line. So that's a parlay. My favorite bets of the night. We are going to ride the Arizona Coyotes plus 1.5 on that puck line as a favorite bet tonight, you guys. I do think also both teams to score in that first period, or just the over 1.5 between Calgary and Vancouver, is my other favorite bet of the night. There's only those 2. So I wish you guys all the best in all of your bets today. Make sure you check out my new MLB show. I will be recording it again and throwing it up later this afternoon before the games kick off. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I'm also going to be over on Sports Grid tonight from 9 to 12 Eastern. So make sure you check that out. I'm over there with Harrison. We will be giving live bets in all of these games going on, all the action on the court, the ice, and the diamonds. You guys, I appreciate you for being here today. And let's make some freaking money. I will see you tomorrow. Remember, I'm on Sports Grid again tomorrow, 3 to 6. So set your notifications for when I go live for Pocket. I will get it up before 3 o'clock Eastern. I'm aiming for 1 o'clock Eastern for a Pocket with Joe. You guys have a good one. Keep smiling. Let's make some friends.